Good morning, bird brains, and welcome back to, well, I guess not welcome back. Welcome to the first official episode of Let's Work on the Dirt Bike and turn it into a trail riding bike thing. Let's get into it. So in case this is the first video you're watching of my ugly face, my name is Justin. I run this channel here called Bike and Bird, and usually what we are doing is taking big behemoths like this Harley here or this Harley here and turning them into one-of-a-kind badass machines, but we're doing something a little bit different with this one. This bike that you see here behind me is a 2013 Honda CRF250R, which is notoriously a pretty good motocross bike for doing things like this. But if you're gonna learn one thing about this channel, it's that I like to make things a lot harder than they need to be. So with that being said, we're gonna be turning this motocross bike into a trail riding Hare Scramble bike. Now, if you have no idea what a Hare Scramble bike is, it's basically racing, but not on a track. It's usually through a little bit rougher terrain, and they usually last a lot longer than a typical motocross race, sometimes between 1.5 hours and 3 hours. Now, 3 hours on a comfy road sofa such as this might sound like a breeze, and it is. But you gotta remember, we're not going down smooth highway back roads. We're going through some pretty tough terrain. God damn it. But I'm not gonna bore you guys on the gritty details of what Hare Scramble racing is. If you wanna know more, head over to Shade Tree Surgeon's channel. He did a great job of documenting his entry into the sport of Hare Scramble race, and it really reminded me of when I first got into it. But the last time I did any sort of competitive racing was about 13 to 14 years ago. So with that being said, I'm older, I'm fatter, I'm more out of shaper, but that's not really what this episode is about. This episode is going to be about getting this bike ready for the race, because this bike is not meant to do what we're about to put it through. Now, I feel bad for saying that because you're probably expecting us to do a lot of, mechanical work and stuff like that. And don't worry, we are going to get to that eventually. But right now, we're just gonna be focusing on first getting it to not look like a motocross bike. Because if you look good, you ride good. That's a fact, you can Google it. But today we're gonna be focusing on putting on that box of parts, which is basically just going to be brand new plastics and a kickstand, because these bikes don't have kickstands. And when you're out in the trails and you ride out in South Texas like I do, there's not a lot of trees and stuff to kind of lean your bike against and stuff like that. So we went ahead and picked up the Trail Tech kickstand. This is a beefy piece of machinery. I'm really impressed with the quality of this thing. But plastics and kickstand, and then the next few episodes of this series we're going to be doing graphics, seat cover, things like that. I know those are all cosmetic things, but then we are going to get into changing the sprocket, probably. I don't know just yet, but I'm really going to focus on changing the clutch. I'm going to be putting on a Recluse clutch, and that's basically an automatic clutch to where it's impossible to stall the bike out. Really helpful for these race bikes on the trails because they tend to what's called hot flare or a hot stop, which is basically when the bike at lower RPMs, it just kind of dies out because it's not made to do that. So that will be coming very shortly. But today we're just going to give ourselves a clean slate. But before we can do that, in case you are not following me on Instagram, you should, by the way. I sold the Camaro. The Camaro's no longer here. It's not just parked outside. I got rid of it, got a truck, so I can be doing these races and things like that. And since then, my garage has kind of become a mess, so go ahead and cue the time lapse of rearranging the garage, followed by putting on plastics. Let's go. brakes are on, kind of. Apparently when you order a plastics kit from a Churby's, it does not come with the airbox cover nor a front license plate, which I think is weird as shit, but whatever. Either way, I will go ahead and leave a link to that product down in the description, as well as this Trail Tech kickstand, which we'll be putting on next, followed by a Rockform phone mount, and then I might take off these stupid blue spoke skins as well. We'll see how long this takes to put on. So the kickstand is now on. It looks really good. I got it to kind of break in here. I don't think I got me actually getting the spring on, which sucks because I have a spring puller in here somewhere. I swear to God, it's in here somewhere. I have one, I just touched it last week. But of course, the one time I need it, it's nowhere to be found. But that's on, it's good to go. Very, very simple installation. And then last thing we're gonna do, I'm not gonna do the spoke skins today. I'm gonna wait until I put on the black ones to take those off. Last thing I'm gonna do today is put on this Rockform phone mount. In case you guys have no idea what Rockform is, I'll go ahead and show you. So as you guys can see here, this is their motorcycle handlebar mount. They make mounts for pretty much anything you can imagine. I have one on both of those bikes as well as my truck. You can see here, it uses a special case. Mounts up to your bars, fits bars anywhere between 7/8 as well as 1/4 inch, CNC machined aluminum. And it includes a safety lanyard, which I just put on my phone. When I'm using it on the Harleys, I don't really need it because here, I'll show you. You basically just use this to match up with this. It's got a little magnet in it and it's in there. The reason I'm using this lanyard now is because on the dirt bike, things are gonna get a little bit more hectic than they do on the road sofa. If you're interested in one of these mounts, like I said, they make mounts for anything and everything. Head over to rockform.com, use code BNB25 and get 25% off your entire order. It does not have to be this motorcycle mount. It can be any of their cases, any of their mounts, you name it, any of their accessories. 25% off, use the code BNB25. But let me go ahead and throw on the bike and I'll show you how it works on the dirt bike. Guys, it's really that simple. I know I used a T-handle hex, but this kit actually includes the single tool that you need. So you could actually buy this at like on the way out to the track and put this on. Might ask yourself, why do you need a phone on your bike? Well, a lot of guys use them for lap timers, things like that. This also is adjustable in the back, so if you wanted to mount it horizontally, if you want to mount it right here on the crossbar, you've got pretty much unlimited options. And like I said, the reason I'm using the lanyard on this one is because, I mean, this thing is on there. The only way it can come off is if it actually rotates to the left. But say, for example, if, I don't know, I'm leaning into a turn, my hand slips off and I, you know, knock it like that and it was to come off, with that safety lanyard, it comes off, but it's now just hanging by the case. It will not actually fall off and get lost in the woods somewhere. So having this, you know, added extra layer of protection is just kind of like a peace of mind thing. Well, there you have it, guys. That is going to do it for today's episode. I apologize if this one was a little short, a little boring. I really needed to get this, or I didn't need to, I really wanted to get these plastics on as well as that kickstand, because I'm actually going out riding this weekend. I might be doing a race at the end of the month as well. So I want to get this bike ready as quickly as possible. Next up on my list is that recluse clutch. I really want to get that in just because I've got really bad hands, and trying to tame this powerful of a bike through slow trails and stuff like that, it really is a toll on the hands. But I also have grips and a seat cover, spoke skins, heavy duty tubes going in. I'm literally getting parts like every other day for this bike. So this build should go fairly quickly aside from that recluse clutch. But hopefully it's coming soon. Like I said earlier, every product will have a link down in the description if you want to go check that out. Once again, rockform.com, use code BNB25. They support me a lot, guys, and their products are awesome. So go over and get yourself a new phone case, new phone mount. Like I said, they make them for Harleys, dirt bikes, trucks, cars, ATVs, UTVs, side-by-side, you name it. They make it for everything. So go over and check them out and tell them Bike Bird sent you. Other than that, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you